Should be about good to start now. Yeah. Bink. Alrighty. So there's that. I can pause on that little replay there. Then, hi. Yeah, we've got Purple music as per usual. They're pretty great. I like their things a lot. Then what we can do is, so, right, first I'm working on, let me double check what it looks like right now. Yes, okay. Meow. Hi, Raina. Good to see you. So, right now, today, we're working on the Made For You website, right? And then after that, we're going to switch over to working on Wisest Wizard and Godot. And this will be very fun. Made For You is a little group of other made VTubers that I am with, and we do fun things sometimes. We've only done one collab so far, but we're enthusiastic, and we're gonna get more eventually. So this is what it looks like right now. And the two things I would really like to have happen in the next half hour would be for these two images to overlap on top here, then for this bar here to go up here, right? And then, so it'd be these two on top of this, and then this on top of this, and then this who are we about section in another section below there. So I've got VS Code here, right? I'm going to come out this one. Reki isn't one of the maids currently, but they're going to be in the staff section, because I'm going to definitely put in a little page for the staff people. Or just notable other friendos. So, the tricky thing right now is I don't know what I'm doing. I was looking at this, and I don't know what this little cursor is all about. It's like somebody screaming. But it's fine. It's hoping that this will give us what we need. Yay for staff. Absolutely. Now it's the best, by the way. I don't know if y'all know. We have good. So, position relative. So we're looking for a stack item here, okay? This is for each thing that's supposed to go on top. Grid column 1. Row 1. Okay, so if we say grid column 1 and grid row 1. Right, and then we'll double check how that changes things here. It seems like it puts it downwards a little bit from the top, which kind of really sucks, in my personal opinion. I don't like that. I wonder if I remove grid row, will that do the fix? I'd like it to be just at the very top, you know? No. It's going to just stay like that. That is fine. I will see about maybe putting a little box up there. Maybe like a header tab that follows you down as you go. Hopefully that'll be good. So yeah, we'll put that there. Then we'll say grid column 1 and grid row. So if we put those on the same one, was Kitty Gaming. That means I have to put on my cat paw gloves. I don't know if I've shown you guys recently, but somewhere up here, where is it? Ah, I see, yeah. I feel like it was somewhere, but I guess not. Alright. Me! Yeah, you were there, Grace. Be awesome. So if I refresh this, that's a no. Lorf, hello. If I put this at maybe, like, 12, like it's adjusted. Also, hi, Johan. I don't think you ever showed the final thing. Oh, okay. Here's what I can do about that, then. I want to check this really quick. So that did not work. Alright, I don't think that this grid is going to do what I want it to do for me. So we're going to remove it. You love the meow command so much. I'm glad you do. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture on my phone really quickly of those cat pods so y'all know what they look like. And then that will tell you whether or not you want to redeem that. I'm just going to take a picture of one of them next to my hand for scale. It'll be easier that way. I made them myself, you know. You should make Sharky an R for whatever her favorite sound is. Oh, that's certainly her favorite. I'd probably do bark, because she barks at me a lot. She's cute. Cutest ever, actually. I don't know if y'all know that. Sharky's the singular cutest ever. And she's not even here yet, so she can't refute this. She's just the cutest ever. I'm gonna turn on the flash for this one, just so that it's a little easier to see the things. Yes. Alright, that works for me. Then I turned off my phone. Oh, I'm out of frame. That's my bad. Bye. Alright. But yeah, I absolutely will add an ARF command or a bark command or something along those lines. Sooner than later. Alright, so now I'm going to go over to Discord and upload the picture, and then we can all look at it here. I can refresh this. So, I just want things to go on top of that is all, you know? Then here we're going to put that in Art and Pics. Here. And then... Like, I am pretty proud of how these turned out, by the way, because I did sew them myself, you know? And it was before I started my sewing class at all. But yeah, you can kind of tell how this would make a, playing games very difficult, you know? And it would make programming very difficult, too. But I'd probably just manage with that. But yeah, this is what they'd look like, you know? I didn't get the bottom part of it where it has a little pink edge, but it's fine. It's been a great, awesome job. I'm glad you think so, Nama, because I did put quite a bit of work into those. And Grace played a little time. Silly, Grace. You have a cute hand? What do you mean? What does that even mean, Grace? You have no sense. You make no sense. Makes no sense, Grace, is what they call you. How to overlay images. So for the overlay, specify background image. See, the thing is, I can't use background image because I need it to show the entire image. Using the background image element or a property in CSS will cut it off at the bottom of the div. But an off command would be really cute. You think I should do that now? Here, I'll search just royalty-free bark puppy pug. And then I will say specifically .wave. Right? We'll see you today. Let's see. How's this one? No. No. Almost. Yeah, that one. Alright, we will download that. Then, yes. Okay, then real quick, I just go here, and then I open file. On my system documents, I go documents, projects, Witchbot stuff. Where is it? If I just sort by modified, that'll be easier. There it is. Then we go no-editbot.py, and then here, I go here. And then we say arc wave equals audio seg from wave. Casually setting up a sound effect when it took me 20 minutes just to pick a click sound the other day. Yeah, from whatever I was doing. I know how that is, yeah. We're going to say /home. I'm gonna set the path, and then I'm actually just gonna move the file and rename it. The music, and then we will just call this arc. I actually didn't check the file extension on it. It is an MP3. Okay. I hope that doesn't mess with anything. But we'll see. Anyhow, I just got to show that in folder. Yeah? Alright. Apparently it did it twice because it hates me? I think that's why. I'm pretty sure that's why. It's like the only logical explanation, you know? But as long as I can get... Golly. There we go. Close it. Pretty please close this for me? Ah. Golly. Something, did I tell you? There we go. Going to rename this to be arf.mp3. I'm going to throw it into the music folder. Alright. That's this. Then here, if I save this, then I need to define... It's kind of interesting to play audio segments because you have to define the function, and then make it a command. Because most of these you can make an @bot.command and then have it do an async function. But these functions, I don't think they're asynchronous, or it doesn't work properly if you try and make it asynchronous by default. I just copied the title there for no reason. Yeah, we're going to say play. And then we go get the audio where, yeah, arfwave. But essentially all I do is I define the function up here, then I await it in the async function, you know? So we go @bot.command, and then we can name this one name equals arf. Oh, I did not need all of that to be a string. In fact, I needed all of it to not be a string. Only part of it. Then we can set some aliases as well. Equals, then aliases is an array, and we can call this one arf, arf, arf. And I, once again, did not need that to all be a string. So that can be bark, it can be arf, arf. It can be, party noise. Hey, thanks, Johan. And on that note, I can actually make, yeah, I can add an alias here. Or, yeah, or a meow. And this does need to be an array. Aliases isn't able to just be a single thing. It has to be an array of things, even if you just put one thing in that array. Is my tracker broken? Kind of looks broken. Hey there, what's up with you? Let's restart it real quick. Run. And so we're going to say meow. Or name noise, or all those things work. At least in my head. And then it's complaining because I didn't actually make a function down here. And I also forgot to turn my model back on. I got distracted immediately. Alright. Bing. Gotta turn on the camera. I got to turn off the default expressions by just turning on and then back off full body tracking. And that's just my process. That's how I've been doing it. Async def. Bark bark. Or arf. We'll just say for short. And then we do need to context. Doesn't have any other arguments. Goes to none. We need to actually type none in it. Can't just think it. And then we say await, play, arf, pass in context. I don't think technically I need to pass in context, but it's fine. And then what I do is not that. I go over here and I restart the bot. Actually, really quickly. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but what I'd like to do is, I can't remember exactly the syntax for it, but I'd like to put in a little error handler just so I don't have so many things in there, because actually, nah, I won't. Nobody sees it but me, and I don't care enough. I will just restart the bot. That did not work. Why? Gotcha. It does need to be a wave file. That is fine. We will just really quickly. Actually, I might even be able to use OBS to do that, huh? Remix recordings. If I go to music and I go to... Oh, never mind. That doesn't work. Fair enough. I just want to go MP3 to wave. It looks like it only works on .wave files, which is fair enough. If I were programming these things, I would also not want to have to program for multiple file formats. So we'll convert. I need to eke myself down that way a little more. Download that. That is in fact the .wave we are looking for. And then we will go here, and then we will bring up this, except not that one, and instead this, not that one, and instead this one. And then this one is not the one I was hoping for. But it's fine because all we need to do is actually we can leave that as rfarf.mp3. All we need to do is move the download folder or the downloaded wave file into music, and then minimize that, and then up here we just change this to rfarf.wave. Alright, and then that's not it. Then we just go back to my terminal and we try that again. There we go. So if I go exclamation point turkey noise, there you go. You guys are gonna have to tell me if that was too loud or not. I don't know necessarily if I have too much control over its volume, but obviously if I do, I'd like to make it better for y'all. Good volume? Yay! That's convenient. I would not like to have... like I was saying before, the reason I can't do... Let's make sure I can't. I don't know quite what you're saying. But... yeah, I can't use the background image CSS property because it gets cut off at the end of the div, and I'd have to space it out manually. And I really want this to look nice on mobile as well as desktop, just because then I can show people on my phone if I ever get the chance, you know, or if we're ever doing something in public. Like if I go to an event or something, I could show people my website that I made myself. You know what I mean? Overlay 2 images. How's this? That's not quite what I was hoping. Let's see. So we have these. I don't think I quite understand what that's saying. Developing elements on top of each other. Look at this one. Grid approach is not quite what I'm after. But let's look at this at least. Right? And then... so, what I want... It's so cool that you know how to code. It is! I want a different website, though. So, the thing is that I can't... It's really tricky right now for me. Because I can't use... I don't want to use absolute positioning too much. Right? I can try for this one. No, I can't. You can't code. It's really not that hard. Like I promise, it is easier than you think. And every programmer looks things up all the time. It's not about knowing everything. It's about knowing how to figure out what you don't know, you know? I can't... So I don't want to use position absolute for the big element. Because if I do that, then... so, HTML... things are ordered relative to each other, right? This is here, then these things are below it and next to each other, and these are below that. If I tell this big image that I want its position to be absolute on the page, then I'm taking it out of the flow of the document. And that means that no longer would these two things be below this thing, it would be this is here, and then these two are also on the page, and then these two are below these two, right? So I need this to be relevant. Like, obviously I want these two to be over this so that that particular part isn't bad, but then the next parts, I need there to be a way to put things after this. And that's kind of difficult. I do kind of want to try again with the grid method, because I feel like that could be helpful. So we're going to put display grid. Right, and then if I refresh this, does anything change immediately? Not quite. I do need to put something up there, because it's a little annoying that it's just empty space. Technically speaking, it might not be empty space. That might actually be part of the image now I think about it. Yeah, so that's actually meant to be there. So I'm just crazy. Over here, I really just need to go to W3 Schools. If you're learning something or you're confused about something for coding, W3 Schools is just awesome. We're looking for CSS, and we're looking for grid. Alright, CSS grid. And then, yeah, so we can look at this really quickly. And you'll notice how all these do grid things. Grid template columns, we'll just go with 3 autos for now. Auto. Actually, hang on. So, auto must mean that there's 3 columns, right? And then, I don't think... Does anyone ever where they imagine their whole life? I really have no idea what you're saying, Grace. I'm sorry. I love web stuff. Hi, Jis. Yeah, this is what we've got so far. I'm trying to get these first 3 things. This block here, and then these 2 images. I'm trying to get all of them on top of this. Right? So it's kind of tricky. And then I need this to be after it. So definitely some things to think about. Yes. Did I save? I did not. We're going to just start with 1 column. Really sweet. I'm glad you think so. So that doesn't change anything. But if I put in 3 columns, let's say. I have very vivid dreams that disorient me. I don't know if I'm doing it or not 10% of the time. You know what? I have the same problem. Okay, yeah, so let's put 1, 2, and 3, right? But then I also... So if I put this one as grid row, so if I say grid row start 1, or maybe grid column, is that a thing? Yeah, and then we start at 1, ended at 3. How does that look for me? No difference, okay. If I... That's not it. Wait, is this it? Kind of. Almost. Recently started remembering every dream I had my whole life, but slowly, now I can't tell which were real. That does sound really difficult, actually. Good luck figuring all that out. I don't really have any advice, I'm sorry. I want to go history, and then this one, I think. Right? So we're looking at this contents. So I'm curious. Main planet rocket. Okay. Planet rocket. Okay, they're next to each other. Main display grid, and then column and rows. Place item center. Okay, so we're going to say place item center in ours too, because I think that will be good. Place items center. And we'll see if that causes anything immediate to change. Okay, so that is not quite what I want. Because it's important to me that that bar goes all the way across. So we will fix that. And then that yeah, so right now what it is we have column 1, column 2, column 3, and then row 1 and row 2. So this is second row, first column. So that is how we want that. Your grid only has one cell. We can specify value of 1/1. Both the planet and rocket's grid area. Okay, so if I set grid area 1/1. Right, and then I do the same here and here. That should get them all on the same spot. Okay, and then I go here and I refresh. That did not do what I wanted. And the question is, why? It could be... So if we look at their HTML again, they have main and then two things inside it. Right? So, could be helpful. Because ours is slightly different. We have the topper, which is our grid, then we have the underneath, which is the big image, and then we have an overlay div. Maybe we make that class overlay. And then we say dot over. Oh, gotcha. I kind of had that anyway. I'm going to remove these. Right? And then say dot overlay and then those tabs. That ought to be fine too. Still no change with that. That's fine. We're gonna delete these and then we're going to just say dot overlay. And in dot overlay we're going to say grid area 1/1. And maybe the spaces are important. Just in case, I'll do the spaces. Okay, still no. That is different. Those are all the wrong places to do, but they have just two images. And could be let's see. So body is display grid instead of the thing. So what if we remove this? We say to display everything on a grid. Right? And then put that in there as well. Now what happens? Okay. Interesting. We're going to have, let's try, it's a lot to remember. Not really all at once, and like I said, I don't know everything all at once. I just look up the things I can't remember. So we're going to go with the celly tag. We're going to say grid area 1/1 with the spaces. Now if that happens, what happens? Okay, could be that, actually, hang on, they had some extra CSS on their main, didn't they? No, they didn't. Okay. Understandably confused. Oh, you're talking about for Grace. Gotcha. We've got these three things. Right, so in the main div. Okay, we want, so I think we do still want display grid here, right? I don't know if that'll make any immediate difference. Not quite. Fair enough. So up here we have the body is display grid and place content center. Let's add that to the body too, just in case. I know it will mess things up, but it'll be fine. Okay, yeah. So that's... Oh, that's because I spelled it wrong. Okie dokie. So that's that. Then, for us, topper is this main thing here. And, let's see. CSS applying here is this. So nothing there. Then main, we have these. I'm gonna copy this and put that here. Because those are the relevant ones, you know? Then if we do that. Okay, so that does nothing except volume. Gotcha. In this one's first one, body, what do you do just to display grid? You do not place content or do those, right? If I say auto, how's that look? Okay, then let's see. Just trying to get it in main. On dot main, add the 3 there. We did. I probably will go back on it being. Then we need 1FR. So we just need a single cell that takes up all available space. So 1FR is the cell. Okay, that's good. Create area location, that is 1 and 1. Gotcha. So, any units on that? Doesn't happen automatically. Main dot rocket. So we would have to go dot topper, huh? Shed side. See if this helps. If I just double check, I just set like a different background color to check if it is the right one. So that is getting the right thing, which is good, but the grid area is incorrect. I don't quite know why. Alright, it could be that these things need to come in here. And they can't be strings here. And they can't have equals if I have colon. Wow. You love watching these streams? Hey, very nice to me. I appreciate it, you know. Golly, these just don't want to move at all. I'm gonna put those back in there, just so I don't have to think about it. Extremely consistent viewership? I'm glad. Let's see. I don't want those there, I kinda think it's lame. But, yeah, so that method isn't working. You know? So here we have in the main, and their main is... Let's see, where'd they put their CSS? Or their HTML? Yeah. So they have grid, place constant center, then in main, they didn't do it. Oh. It could be, you're a meme simp? Aww. It could be that the problem is that the image is too big. Aw, thank you. I can't hear that. Why? Hang on. Hang on. I thought I fixed this already. Let me... Also, again, thank you very much, Grace. I thought for sure I'd fixed that as the thing, and I'm so confused about it. Because... I go recent events. And I just... replay this. It looks like you guys are able to hear it, you know? So to me, it feels like I should be able to hear it. But I sure can't seem to find... Yeah, you can hear it? Yeah. Golly, why does it dislike me in particular? If I save this and test...
This is a subscription test.
Okay. So I could hear that one. But then... Look at this. I can't hear anything. Gosh darn it. What the heck? How is this happening? And why? Just go back to when you turned off a TTS so it didn't be weird. No. It doesn't. I don't think so. Hey, Sharky. Golly. What the heck? Okay, this is just gonna bother me forever, I guess. Is it just Grace's? No, I can't hear any of them. Okie dokie. Right? So I can hear them in testing, but I can't hear them when it's the real thing. That's incredibly annoying. I'm gonna be frustrated about this forever, I think. This counts as programming. It does, I know. And golly, I can't figure this out either. Where's my water? Is it an OBS thing? It could be, but I don't know what, you know? Because what would cause it to work for the testing ones, but not for the actual ones, right? Unless it has, like, an issue with getting the webhooks from Twitch. But that's not something I have any control over, right? Because if it's able to get the thing... I mean... I don't know... It's mean to me. I think... If I say, in Topper... with bit content, maybe? Does that help? Doesn't. Golly! Okay, so this might not be the style that I'm... How about this one? Overlay image. Oh, we can't use background. It's image over an image. Yes. Parent image responsive. So that's the class. Position relative. Width height auto. And that is where I do notice how they did method 1 twice. It's a little suspicious. We have parent image, right? So position relative, then width is 100%, height is auto, then position absolute. Right, so that's tricky. I am going to remove the grid things because they aren't helping us. If I try position absolute here, position relative is default and usually better. Right? Not default, I want to say absolute here. So if we try this now, we see that that goes immediately over that, right? We're going to say top pixels. So that puts that there. And then I forgot what the class here or the yes, it is just Shay, right? Not Shaman. Okay. We will say position here as absolute. And from the top is also 0 pixels. Then I want to... Alright, so this will put them back to overlap each other. Okay, or not. What the heck? Oh, that's because I did it wrong. I understand. Alright, so now they're overlapping like that. And I need to say... Also, to put it left. Can I just say float? No. Float left? Is that a thing I can just do? No, I didn't think so. I'm not the best at those. We need to just say left is, I guess, 30%, let's say. Right. And then we say left is 60%, we'll say. And it's gone, it's disappeared down there. And that is because I just removed the part that said to put at the top. Alright, that's fine. Unless it's not, and it's because I put out a semicolon. On your silly Johanna for using the gnome. So that's good. I probably want it to be a little more that way. So we might go 55, not 5. We might go 55 and 25. Not do 50, please. So that's a bit too much. Might say keep you at 30 then. Okay, and put... That's 50. I want 55, I thought. There you go, that looks centered to me. Now, if I grab out my phone, I need to see if it stays good on mobile. Oh, that's not fun at all. Somebody tried to call me. Let me see. Yes. Sorry, I'm getting very distracted by everything and a half. I just need to check on mobile if this works, because I'm using percentages, right? And that's a little tricky, because it means I don't know exactly... Oh, golly. Those are supposed to shrink. So they didn't do what I wanted, as you might expect. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they're both to this far side. I use percentages though. So shit. I'm gonna put these back to being relative. We'll put them back down there. And then I guess I'll just remove those again. Golly. This was meant to be kind of a quick thing. But it's not, I guess. Okay, so... Yeah, they want to use absolute positioning for that. Relative display inline. Interesting. So if it's like this, if the divider is relative and inline, oops. Right, inline, relative. Does that immediately do anything? Think so. And then what was next? Then the image dot int here. Then that one you did position back. And top 0. What else am I doing left? We need semicolon. Okay, how's this look then? It does not. Okay, fine. Actually, hang on. Put them in the same container, get the container position that isn't static. Then overlay the image with absolute and position it using bottom. Gotcha. If I say top 0%. No, darn it. I just need, can I like the index -1? No. This really is quite tricky. Alright, so let's go for something different. Ages ago I had something that was decent. I don't know how far I can control Z on this. We'll find out, I guess. Just as soon as it stops, we'll just figure it out. Out here, yeah. Try that. See what we think. Right, we got that right. So, this is the other option that I was debating. Oops, gotta save it first. Right, so now it's just on the entire page, right? And then it would move as we scroll down. If I make that instead of that, I put it maybe on topper, like I had it a bit ago. And you'll see it doesn't go past here. I wish I had a big thing. Do I have any? Alright, you know what? I can actually... I'll put this back for now. So I can show you guys. So you see how the top part doesn't move? That's good. This is a really good look. And it's basically what I want. I just would really love it if I could have it also, like, somewhat behind these, you know, but not all the way down and behind it, you know? Like, I guess that it works. Do it on the body. Right? I guess this works. It'd be something I'd have to check it. You see now, this is in the back and everything scrolls over it. Which isn't bad. I just don't like it. So that's the problem, you know? It's either have it so that I can't see all of it, or have it so that I can't do all the other. Right? And so it's real annoying to me in particular. Tomorrow's Thursday. I've got things to do, golly. It's hot up here, I'm sweating buckets. Yep. Let's see. I need to figure out this one little thing is all. You know, and I'd rather that not be stuff. I just remove fix, and that travels up the screen, right? Yeah, so I can get to this. And I need to make... Am I able to say, like, width and height is, 4040 by 2360 or something? Does that work? Yes. Cool. The only problem is that that is too big. So we'll say can I say here? How to have the fit screen, but keep aspect ratio. Maintain the aspect ratio. Create a wrapper with percentage value for padding bottom. 75%. We never made a name for the cafe. No, we did not. Aspect ratio. Okay. So, if I say here, aspect ratio 4040 over 360. Does that work? Because it would be really cool if it did. Oh, hey. Kind of does. Okie dokie. But now things are too small everywhere else. You're ridiculous, Grace. Makes no sense. The thing is, though, despite this being proper, it appears... Wait, hang on. I zoomed out. That actually is perfect! You know? Like, if I go down to, like, here, and I go, paragraph set tag, I go meow, 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 meow. Then that shows up exactly where I want it to, doesn't it? It would if it was the right color. Yeah. Or if I did something. What did I do wrong? I just put another H1 header then? Oh, gotcha. It was just hard to see, I think. I just need to put the color. What if we hit the meow limit? So, the thing about that, Raina, is that currently there is no meow limit. Right? And the reason for that is because it hasn't been abused yet. So if you guys start to annoy me with the meowing, then I will put a limit on there. What's different? I'll just copy this section. Sticking your tongue out. Silly. There it is. Right there. Worth thin ice with meowing. No, you aren't. I'm having fun with it. Yeah. So we've done it. So that's all for that for right now. I'm gonna put this away. And it's perfect because this is basically the 1 hour mark. So I'm pretty happy with how that's gone. And then after the break, once I get back from that, we're gonna switch gears. Hey, good effort. Yeah, thank you, Nama. Once I get back from the break, we're gonna switch gears, and I don't need these tabs actually. We're gonna switch gears and work on my video game called Wisest Wizard. For those who don't know, it is a game where you will be able to program your own spells using a runic shape language I've made. It's very cool. I've talked to Timmy in detail about how it all works. But yes, I'm excited. So I'm gonna take my little break, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. And right now, it does not contain much cat-related content, but it can, and it probably will, huh? That just sounds like a good time. Welcome back, thank you! Meow! Yeah, so we're gonna open up Wisest Wizard. Now, the good news is, it's going well. The bad news is I have no idea what I was doing last. So that's a problem. Ollie, where is my anything? Because parsing to JSON. Then I believe the room placement area would be where I was looking last, right? There's a to-do here to make it work. Golly, I don't know what I'm doing. It's been too long. No. Oh, golly. I'm just gonna look for any to-dos in other files. Good luck. Yeah. Yeah. Just gotta look through some things real quick. There's one in here. Oh, okay, that's I do think it's just this. We're working on instantiating runes. Yeah, there's actually a bunch of to-dos here. Alright. Okay, so we're just going to go to the first one then. Make sure these return values will be the most useful foreign data. Gotcha. So, right now, from parser output and parser output 1. Alright. So we parse these things. I wish this was a bigger work area. I got too used to VS Code, but it's fine. I can kind of just do things aside if I need. A little bit, can I? And bottom timeout. Can I like do the opposite of that actually? Do that. But yeah, so these two things, so parser output from rune combo parsing, right? So where does this return? Output rune data trash. Gotcha. So let's walk through the whole flow of this right now for all the instantiation of the runes that it has previously saved. Like if I click play, because it does mostly work. You go here, drag that there, you have like this, and it says who. And I go here and I bring the same one here and it says who again, right? But then if I go here and I put a who and a y and I combine them like any old way, I do that, and it doesn't say anything there actually because that's not a thing. But, so nothing would actually. But if I were to combine in two different things at once, does that break? Does. So, yes. Where is this? This is on the dot operator, okay? Golly, I gave myself all sorts of nonsense to look at. Why? I mean, I know why, it's just, why couldn't it be more useful to begin with? I want to find, is that from the rune deck? Am I printing things here? You getting printed? I know. But either way, it matters not. We just need to... I definitely think we just want to start from the very first item on the to-do list. And making sure that's the most useful form of data is a bit of a complex act, because this combine runes function goes up into here, combination info, and the trash can, every time you see a rune trash can or something along those lines, that's because it's going to be eventually returning to here, which will be erasing it from the list so that basically you don't instantiate the same rune twice. And I'm hoping that it does that properly. But that's that's my job to figure out, you know. The computer can't know. Golly, I love having comments in here. I will need to do that for all of them eventually, but golly, I don't want it. So we're going to look around for some other two things. Down here, ensure nested operations and groups do not break everything. Gotcha. So, what it means by nested operations and groups. Fully automated cat wizard, that sounds silly and fun, huh? So the tricky thing is that there is, I want Krita. I want to open up Krita so I can sort of write my thoughts out a little. So, yeah, sure. You could have two runes combined in a couple ways, right? So there's overlapping like this. I'll use this. There's overlapping like this. Then there's nesting. I'll use the circle tool again. So those things could be inside each other like that. Then they could also be one raised to the other like this. I guess I've usually put that on the other side in the software because I put the dough stick on that side. So there's those three. Then I can actually check my code to see the others. Because this is the... What function even is this I'm looking at right now? Is this the... What am I? Combo parsing, yeah. So this is to get the JSON data, and this actually does most of what we want already. And when we see progress start, that's coming from here. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. But then over in perform op, we got overlapping, we got comma, we got grouping symbols, and that would be raised. Improper nesting, we got quotation, we got those two. Improper nesting. Gotcha. So that's actually nesting regular. Notation. The notation's a little bit weird in the code, just because I need to be able to differentiate them. But yeah. So are those all the operations? I guess so, or good enough anyway. But yeah, things could also be improperly nested. So if something's improperly nested, then it would look like this, right? Something could be in quotation, which means that it'd be like this. Right? What else? Got check, check, grouping. Alright. Groups might be handled below, that's true. Two more operations. Okay, so that's not all of them. Let's see what else there is. ID. Gonna be honest. I don't know what. Oh, I see. I think it's just telling me that I need to program more of them, because right now it's basically just the simple overlap and maybe the nesting that works. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're missing mid magic, more meows. Yeah, so the grouping is essentially this, but without the triangle there, right? So you'd be able to have this and this next to each other as another form of, I do like having circles nice, so that's another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So by my count there was 8. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. We have, I don't think we have the, and then I suppose the commas actually, so this is 6 and 7 here. Because here, I'll actually write down next to it what it is represented by. This one's the dot. This one, here I can actually do this very easily by just drawing a little representation of it, right? Circle how it looks in the code. Because every combination is stored as a string. And so this would be the character representing this, dot character representing that. And these ones would be circle, bracket, triangle. Then this would be triangle, caret, circle. Right? Right. Then this would be triangle. And then this is improper nesting. So it's tilde, circle, dash. In the quote would be triangle plus circle, an asterisk, and then this down here is a grouping. So this one would be written as parenthesis, triangle, comma, circle. And then the last one is a group or a split, which I don't necessarily know how you use that. Guys will be like that. And this one is literally written just like that anyway in the code. Or it will be once I make it exist, but it doesn't right now. We'll just call this one combo rules. Right? So these are the different ways that things can be combined. That two different runes can be combined. And you'll notice, so a lot of these are what's called binary operations. And the reason they're called that is because, you know, bi is for 2. They are involving 2 elements. Right? But you also might notice that these last 4, especially, technically, all of them, but mostly these last 4, they can involve more things, right? So I could put a square in here. I could, no, I actually would like to just do that, right? I think. So I could put a square in here and then close it, and then this would be with square minus instead, you know? So you can put more things in there. And if it's, if they're next to each other like this, then that also would be, with the grouping symbol there, right? So I draw them like that. But if they're overlapping, then it would be like that, right? So the complexity is that I need to figure out how to make all of these instantiate from being non-existent, right? So I need to be able to use the codes that I'm given, as well as the JavaScript notation that I've invented, in order to reconstruct this from that. And that's kind of tricky, at least for me. I can also close that. Alright, I can close that. Yeah, so that's what that's about. That's why I'm having trouble. It's because I've got to make all of it work. That's why I have to ensure nested operations and groups don't break anything. Because most things in perform pull-up, for example, they're assuming you have two things. And one of them will be applied, and so it assumes you have two things, one will be applied, no, but you have two things, and then an operation to apply them. That's why you have base, operation, modifier. So it's tricky. We're going to leave that because it works. To do complete operation, wonderful. So as a group, outputs as array, base of group, instance, root data to remove. I'm so pleased with myself for going through and putting comments in this. Golly. Because I would be completely lost right now without them. I'm tempted to just not do more programming and instead just put more comments in. You want to write some then-if statements? Golly, yeah. So, what's not finished with this right now? Those could be JSON data, but that's not the problem. If base is an array, then... Good girl, thank you. Do we even have... Hang on. I don't think we have a good girl command on Twitch. I might have to go do that, like, right now. What would that do? That would necessarily... that'd be a bit complex. Mind someone there is redeemed. It's a redeem. Yeah, I know it's a redeem, but consider... What if somebody like Timmy gets confused? Thank you, Tim. I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now, but... There. Thank you, thank you. So, yeah. Instance 1, instance 2... Hang on. Base of group. Oh, I understand. So what this is saying is that if you have a comma, you've necessarily started a proper group with the thingaringabing. Where did it go? It hid from me. Anyways. Essentially, here, yeah, with the parentheses. So if you're in a group, you've necessarily started with that, right? And when I find where I was looking at 5 seconds ago, here. Essentially, oh, I see, that's why I have to do more operations, because I'm just going in as I go. It all makes sense now. Gotta save my points again for the 30k redeem. Which one even is that? I've forgotten. 30k. Oh, addition to my website. Yeah, absolutely. That's a fun one, huh? Because if y'all don't know, I have my website shamem.online, and it does just go to tilde.town. But you see, we got some things here. And of course, the sub art I draw, and I still need to draw yours, Timmy, I haven't gotten around to it. The sub art I draw goes up here, and so does all the fan art I get, and, assuming it's appropriate, whatever you guys redeem with that 30k one will also go up here. It's pretty neat. And then I have all my blog posts here and such. It's fun. It's cool. Everyone loves it. No worries. Yeah, sorry. I'm not great at getting to things in a timely manner. It's not a skill of mine. But basically, we need to make sure. So, what's not missing? What's missing here? Do a complete operation. So, we're both get busy, I get it, yeah. Gotcha. Committed to be 20 months. Yeah, that's nice. Very nice to me, you know. If you ever feel like you can't keep it up, don't worry about it. Only subbing any of y'all get me. Oh, I understand. I was like, my brain just did not want to process words there for a bit, you know? But I'm trying to figure out what's incomplete here. So we have, if the base is an array, then the instance data would be from, you know, the things that you have. Then, if path and mod, because mod is often based on, wait a second, isn't saying if path in mod already assuming it's JSON data? Is that not what that is? I have no idea what I'm on about with any of that, but essentially, yeah, so we have the rune data trash can, I don't quite know what's missing. I don't know what's missing. So, I suppose actually that's why we have the error, because this would be written, right? This would be triangle, dot, circle, comma, square, right? So this triangle parents this square and this circle individually without these two being related to each other. And that's what the groups are for. So if I save and quit here, I put this back, I get an error. Why? It's newer on disk for some reason. I don't know why it assumes that's a thing. Why is improper nesting a thing? What goes here? What is this? Oh, I remember. Interesting. Very interesting. Anyhow. Invalid summon property or key parent rune with value of type node2d on base object of type nil. So M instance here doesn't exist. So the mod instance doesn't exist. And that's with the dot operator. Okay. Oh, hey, look at that! I left myself a little note where I was working. That's ridiculous and silly and fun of me. So that's why that's there. Okay. And last thing it's gone and printed was, so, yes. So it's printed base here, which is this array of properties. And then mod, comma, so the mod is, oh wait, no. So that'd be the base, I think. No, this is the base. Then this is the mod. And this is M instance. And M instance is null, which is why we're having a problem. That's what the error said. Saying you can't access the property parent rune on something that doesn't exist. Okay, that's good. So that means that we know what the problem is. So M instance doesn't exist, which means that either mod doesn't have path in it, or mod isn't draggable rune. So we're going to test for both by having it print. We're going to say print, and we want this one to stand out, so we're going to put a couple hashtags in it. Path in mod, or here, print mod is draggable. Alright? Because those should be like the only two possibilities. Unless I don't remember something else. Which is very possible and even likely. Cancel, and then we look here. Oh, up here. Okay. If I just add another else there. Because it could be, here. Mod is no path, and mod is not. Okay, we're trying to figure out what exactly is happening. Because I need to figure out what I'm supposed to be debugging before I can actually debug it, you know? Cancel. Okay, so it has no path, and rune is, and mod is not draggable. Okay, but we've printed the mod. Right? Right. No, we don't need to print mod again because it's already printed. So we have the space, then base, then mod here has no path, and yeah, okay, so it is an array. Right? So mod is an array, and m instance is none, because it went through these two things and didn't get to assign m instance in either of them. So that's this else statement. So we're going to make this instead an elif mod is array. Right? That'll be the next thing we try. So here we need to see, we're trying, why would mod ever be an array though? Overlap this straggler. Why would mod be an array? So so let's find the progress. That should, yeah, so we should say started nesting. There should be a started nesting parsing, yeah? So operation, yeah. Operation overlap on B leads into group of these of EA. Okay. So then we have the alt locations. And the alt locations are because... Oh, I see. Make this work, huh? Alright. I think the problem is that... Wait a second. B. The mod is B. This might be a problem of operation on B here. And if... Okay, so B is supposed to be the base, and instead it's gotten itself into the mod position. And that makes no sense. That should never be there. But it is. Which confuses me. And it frightens me a little bit. But it'll be fine. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? We can save this, by the way. Here. Oh, I see. This is even in the thing where it works. Okay. Okay. So we've printed the base, and the base is draggable. Is this exactly the same? So we're trying to overlap a physical object with mod. But why mod? Why not? And there's no operator. Okay. What am I? Who made this? This code is nonsense. Who made this? So. Wait, no, I'm dumb. Mod is not operation. For some reason I thought operation was the thing. But essentially, that doesn't help me a ton. But for some reason I thought that it was basically inputting the mod as the operation. But we know it's not because it's in this operation. I'm just a silly who needs to sleep, probably. What is the problem? So mod is properly a thing that is not the operation. That's good. So let's track through. Let's actually expand this a bit. We can look through it a bit more. Right, so that's all from while it's running. Then the combined rune ID, which is CRID, b.e, a, just like I said. That's where it is. This is JSON data. Oh golly, excuse me. Yeah. So progress start between. Okay, yeah. So this is it looping through the different pieces and trying to fill in the blanks, right? So we have starts. It gets properly that we have the square or whatever B is. Then it finds that there's a dot operator. Then it finds that there's an operation, but yeah. So B, and then it goes through and it realizes, okay, this is dot parentheses, and then here is the first one, and then here's the mod, E, comma, A. All right. And then it does another thing, and then puts E, comma, A into there. So yes, it says operation dot leads into group. I'm pretty smart, golly. This is pretty understandable. It's pretty parsable by a human reader. I made this debug script quite nicely. At least for me, I'm enjoying it. So there very much could end up being problems if you have multiple of the same room, which is probably gonna happen because you're gonna have a lot of rooms. In fact, it might even start lagging the game if your scripts get complex, so no, it actually will lag the game. So that's tricky. Good luck with that. That is not my problem. I just need to set up a framework, and then I can let somebody else optimize it later. Or I'll optimize it myself. We'll see. So yeah, progress start. It goes to E first. Oh, that's because it's parsing the nested loop. Right, okay, I understand everything. Essentially, because it is me who made this, and I am very smart, I said, alright, now that we know what the operation is, we need to figure out what this is, because this group is comprised of operations, right? And those operations need to be parsed through. Because what if you have literally like a tree of rooms that you've constructed? Then you need to go to the bottom of the tree, do one operation at a time, move up the branch, keep going until you're done. That's a future year problem. Exactly, exactly. You understand. I forgot what I was doing though. My brain is not working. I need to sleep for like 15 hours, I think. That'd fix me. Unfortunately, I have physics tomorrow. I need to make sure that the printer is plugged in so that I can print things. No, wait. I will print it between classes at the library. That'll work. Womp. It's very curious to me that you always say womp and you don't go the full womp womp. Most would expect a full womp womp. I'm just saying. But anyways. Don't fall asleep in class. I'll try my hardest. It's hard though. I wasn't falling asleep in class, but I was certainly eepy by the end of it. Yeah, so we see here we have group E with A. Okay. Then after... Okay. Progress N. Alright, so what gets printed after progress N? Progress start is here. Progress end. Rune 1 gets printed. Okay. So, for some reason, it decided that Rune 1 would no longer be... Wait a second. Rune 1. So this one is an overlap. I get it. It's saying, oh, it makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, oh my goodness. I'm smart. Did you know? Oh, I get it now. I get it now. I need to, like, find a way to express this. I'm going to actually, in fact, just stand up for a second so I can walk around and explain. What? There you go. So, essentially, let me push these things around so they're not in my way. Essentially, all that nonsense was about was I have my JavaScript things, right? And these JavaScript things, it has the exact specifications on how to combine these runes in the way they need to be combined. And then my script is parsing through that like I told it to, like I want it to, and saying, okay, I'm going to match one-to-one every part of the script, of the JavaScript, that is. Every part of the JavaScript instructions is going to match with a rune we're going to instantiate, and we're going to store the instructions that we need to perform. And so the reason there's an error is because the way it's set up right now, but not forever, just for right now, the thing that's set up right now only handles if you have JavaScript on one side, or you have something of a certain kind on one side, and something of a certain kind on the other. But now that we have a group with, we have a certain kind of data on one side, and the data we don't know how to handle on the other. And that's because on the other, it's already gone through, and found the runes it's instantiated, and it's put those together into a group, and told it, my system, alright, now you need to combine every item in this group with the leader of the group, the base rune. You need to combine it, and you need to do the same operation on every one of those runes. Yes. So, now I need to say, if mod is array, then for item in mod, combine or perform operation or whatever the function name is between the base of whatever the base already was and the mod, or the item in the mod. So everything's not only working, it's working well, and I understand it, which is even better than it working, when you think about it. Sharky says my pacing is so cute, and she's shrimply wrong. So, now that we've got that all cleared up... Oh golly, what's that about? I certainly wasn't doing all that. You are cute, Timmy says wrongly. Cool. What was I about to say? Right. Reload for this. I have no idea why this keeps on getting reloaded from this. No, aw, cute Sharky. See, this is why I really need a new background. And I don't have time to make it, and I don't have money to commission it. You're so cute. She says, wrongly, I'm busy. This is why I need to do background. Like a little cafe background for pacing in. Because the gym is not the best place to be pacing in, you know. Not the right environment. I need something a little less, workout focused. Of course, I rarely need to pace, but it'd be nice to have a place for it when I do need to. But, yes, you're not busy, you're Shay. You are adorable. Hey, Sharky, do you want to see the new command we made? If you go exclamation point, Sharky noise. Yeah, isn't that so much fun? Yeah. You see? I don't actually... Okay. So if we go and we make ourselves a little nested group. Good idea, Grace. Yeah. So we cancel. And then we check here. No path is not draggable. And that's because mod is an array. This means to me no. It is nice to you and you know it. You can always just type exclamation point bark, or just bark. I don't remember if I did bark. I think just arf or bark is how it goes. Anyways. Can I put you in the box? Aww. And you're already using your noises at me. Adorable behavior. I have no idea why this keeps on changing. I'm gonna close it though. So essentially, this is perfect. Uh-huh. No, I'm not. I mistyped. Oh, you mistyped 5 characters in a row that just happened to be perfectly. You're adorable, Sharky. And you call me cute. You all call me cute, and you're not only wrong, you're sleeping on how adorable Sharky is every single day. Yes. Aww. So we're going to say there are others in here. Oh my goodness. I don't know quite what you're talking about. But now we can say if instance, right? Hello. I can actually comment this out. But now we can say if instance, and we don't actually need to. So, yeah. You see, null like this doesn't actually mean you type the words null. It just means it has nothing assigned. And for a Boolean operator, if you type the name of something that isn't a Boolean variable, the computer just goes, okay, is there a value there greater than 0 or null or something like that. But basically we can say if instance exists, which means that if one of these happened, then you do those things. But if instance doesn't exist, right, which would be our else condition, we're going to add another thing. So if instance doesn't exist and mod is array. Now in this case, we go heh heh heh. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, we're just evil and we're devious and we're having such a good time. You see, what we do now is we go for item in mod. Item, hang on. Up here. Oh, wait. Yes, okay. Oh wait, no, we already have B instance by this point. Or we should already have B instance by this point. Oh, ho, ho, ho! It's so good! It's so good! It's great! Oh, oh. So we go, item. So basically in this case, right? Because look. The mod array, lots of energy mim. You don't get it, Grace. You don't get it. You don't get it. Look at this. Oh, golly. Ooh, but I need to make sure I'm understanding exactly what's going on in this array. We've printed mod, comma, m instance. And m instance is null, which means that mod is all this here. Right? And so we have C, and then here. I don't get it, but I'm very proud of you. Well, it's okay. So I think we ignore this first one. I'm pretty sure C... Yeah, C is the leader of the group. Okay. I'm gonna make a note of that. Mod 0 approximately equals the instance data, because I'm pretty sure that is the case. So we need to actually go here and here, because you see these are instances of rooms. Everyone loves it. So basically we say for item in mod of 1 essentially. We'll make this a proper note and everything. Right? Just so I can remember that. So mod 1 will be these two, because you see how you have an open bracket, close bracket. Actually, 2 open brackets, 2 closed brackets, comma, which means that this is in position 1, and then we're looping through both of these. So in here, every time item is basically the same as m instance up here. So we say item dot parent room equals b instance item dot read parent b instance. Then we can not return. Okay. Then, because we need to not return things until after it's all been used. Right? Right. So that means we need to hang on. What format is it expecting from perform for? I need to find out. One for item in here is okay, one there, and one there, huh? Okay. Perform full up there, and so it wants us to put wounded trash can in the first, or yeah, in the second position tank. But, and that's fine. Technically, I don't think there's any other room data to obtain. Okay. So I think that part should be fine. I think we're going to want to return. We're probably going to want a new variable here. So we're going to say, not if, we want to say, output array, and this needs to be a variable, and that will equal nothing. And then here we have b instance comma m instance. I need to know though, when you do it like that, 0, 1. Huh? Okay. Rune and group output dot append created 0. Okay. Because what I need to know is whether I'm able to return m instance here as an array, right? That's what I have to know. Not so sure, but it'll be fine. In fact, maybe we're even able to just return with b instance and mod 1. Right, because those are all the different instance mod 1, because that would be the other two, right? And then we put room data trash can on the other side. So we'll try this. This could work. No. And that is because invalid and access type array. Oh. I see. I think. Gotcha. So, if we take a look at this array here, and we just put this in here. This is the array we're looking at. I'm just going to put a new, I'm going to put enter every time there's a new array. And then just have them close off naturally. Wait, hang on. So those two are in there. There's a comma. Oops. So you see, what I was doing was I was saying, okay, mod, which is this entire thing, get the first element, which is this entire thing, and iterate through it. No, actually, this is the 0th element. What I was saying was to get the one after this element, which doesn't exist. So that's why I need to go mod 0, 1, which will be instead at the 0th position, then not this first element, because there's this comma here, but this element, that iterate through this here, which is what we want. So I will instead here go mod 0, 1. And then we'll delete all this because it's in the way and nobody likes it. And we will refresh, not refresh, restart, bing, 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 ba, 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 darn it. Okay. Invalid access to property key 0 of type node 2. Okay. Right, so when this returned, here what we want to do is probably hide a lot of the other print statements, right? Just temporarily, at least. We know a lot of this is working. Break time, but feel free to keep cooking. I absolutely do want to do that break. My water is almost done. I will real quick. It'll just be a really quick break. I just need water. Okay, I'm back. And we're gonna go right back in here. And we were working on some of this, right? What I want to do... Where were I? Hi, Tim. I wanted to print here, that is. Print... Rune operation. But we're actually going to say 6 of those. And make sure this is a string so that it doesn't yell at me for trying to concatenate between strings and non-strings. Bing, 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 bing. Okay. Get the error. And then 1, 2, 6. So it gets rune instances. No, it's actually getting rune instances here. Okay. Rune instances is the first item in this list. Okay. And obviously it can't get a thing out of it. Okay. So performing full op. Where did I ever write down? Where did I ever write down? I guess. Open, close, close. What even is all this? So rune operation output is everything that's being returned from perform full op, right? And perform full op in that situation specifically is returning some data. Okay. Okay. I'm going to say, I'm going to have it print here so that we know which thing is going to be returned in the spot. And this isn't something unrelated. I'm going to put that. Okay. Okay, yes. So what am I looking at here? Because hi. Hope you're having a nice day. I'm trying to figure out what my error here is. Because golly, it is kind of being tricky at me. Because the way I'm looking at it right now, right? It looks like it's weird. Because look, if I go equals if I go bar r equals like this, then all that is going to be telling me it's wrong and stuff, but I might figure it. This isn't what I expected it to be outputting this thing. Oh, wait a second. Hey, yeah, Nama's here, it's great. So, here's what's happening. So this array here is the same thing as this array here. These are just the two things we're getting. Or, yeah. But, you'll notice that it has B instance here, is this, comma, this, which is this. Right? I don't think it actually is including the rune data trash can. I think that might be thrown out already. Also, yeah, I like having my little maid uniform mode. It's quite fun. But what we can see here is our issue that it's not quite the same. So even though this is the same, it's not the same. It's so cute. Yeah, I'm glad you think so. Okay. So, B instance and M instance. Gotcha. So, what's happening here is that because so rune operation output 0. Right, so if we look at this, it's trying to get the first element of this array, which is this. Right? But because this isn't... So what's happening to the rune data trash can? Okay, that's very odd, because the rune... I'm gonna save here. I probably didn't need to. But we're expecting a rune data trash can to exist, you know? So we're going to print the rune data trash can. And I will just comment these other parts now. So we're going to try this again, but we're going to see what's in the rune data trash can and why it doesn't exist. Right. Okay, so it's an empty array. What should be there? If... But we just need... We assign this to be like this. Rune data trash can actually doesn't get anything from here because it was a draggable rune. We're gonna say if rune data trash can equals nothing, rune data trash can equals just an empty value, right? And we'll see how if this makes it fair better. Bing, bing. Hey. Alright. That's weird. Considering that should be part of the output. So mod 0 of 1 is all this, huh? Okay. So 0, 1, 0 then. Yeah. Whoops, that is not the right button. That is actually very not the right button. I've accidentally minimized everything. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that should be everything important back. I am going to probably have to get myself like a coffee, just to make sure I'm not falling asleep fast. If we go like this, unable to iterate on type object, huh? Okay. So that means we were correct before. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so problem is golly, it doesn't quite add up. You know, wait a second. Is this the room data trash can again here? Because if this is what's being returned, absolutely. Alright, rune operation output. And that should be like that, huh? Okay, what if I then use that output array and say output array dot append item. Then we can say, instead of that, we just say output array here. Now we have this and this, and get rid of that. And then see what happens here. Okay. Closes. Feeling distinctly incorrect. Because, for some reason, it feels like these two are being grouped instead of these two. Right? And it's being a little weird, you know? I don't quite understand this output. Because I think what we're gonna have to do is print room data trash can after here. Print B instance. And then print output array. Do all the printing we can, you know? So we have, where is it? Here, trash can, B instance, and then the output array is empty. So this is doing nothing. So this is the, oh, this is the room data trash can. And the reason we thought it wasn't was because the output array is actually nothing. Okay. Yeah. We're gonna have you print the item. Right, we're gonna get rid of all these. Alright. This is probably gonna give me a different error for not having the right number of things in that. It'll be fine. Yeah, so... okay, yeah. Uh-huh. Zero, one. We'll get the things again. Then got that, and down here item doesn't exist. Okay, that's strange. Well, if we try and iterate through mod 0, wait a second, am I ridiculous? I think I might have realized what I'm doing. Terrible. Through mod 0. think it needs to be 0, 0. Okay. So we have that there. B. Wait, it's B? What? Do we have it printing? I have it printing mod, comma, and instance. So this is mod. And mod. On. I'm going to be as thorough as I can with this one. So this whole thing is mod 0. This whole thing is mod 0, 0. Right, so mod 0, mod 0, 0, mod 0, 1. Or so I'd expect, right? But what if it's mod 0, mod 0? I think that's how it has to go, isn't it? Let's put that all into comments. And try that one more time. Okay. Because we have this here. Oh, hang on. So, printing the item. So yeah, each of those is being properly printed. Okay. So that's good. I just not know where to put it. Right? So we have this, and then it would go back up here. Right? And that would be with, hopefully, so, hold on. Right, so this here, I wonder where those are coming. We're going to assume. Wait, actually, where is that? Oh, gotcha. It was able to get through this part of the function, so it printed that. I think what happened. Overlap this with G. And E. Alright. Or something. Either way. What's going on with this? I hide that. Because I'm only... Oh wait, I need to scroll down a bit, huh? I see. Yeah. So this is... We don't need to actually have that. I mean, it's helpful. So... I don't know why it's being wrong. Instances. For some wacky reason, right? Look, because down here, we're properly getting these two nodes, right? These two nodes are what's being iterated through here. Which means that those two nodes should be what's here. But instead, we don't get that. Instead, we're just getting this node 2D, which is 2011420. 2011420, yeah. So that is just the base rune. And then the rest of it is just the garbage can. Why is that? I don't know. Really could not say. What happens if I just don't append a rune gauge? Oh. Wait, never mind, because that was... I thought I was finding the issue, but... Not quite. Like, doing it like this. In fact, I'm just going to tell it to directly print this, because I'm so confused. Bing, 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 bing. Alright, but like... Okay. Now I'm double confused. What is the deal? What the heck? Because when I print it here, right, it's the exact same thing. Why is it giving me two different things? Because I see... I don't get it. The instance is fine. Although it needs to be inside. And this especially is confusing because this is... Actually, I'm getting EP2, you know. We both gotta get a deep soon. In fact, here, I'll leave myself a note explaining exactly what's happening. I think I'm gonna head out. Yeah, I'm gonna too in just a bit. Alright. Good night. It's very late my time. Yeah, absolutely. We all gotta get some sleep. statement appears to be different than the return statement. So that's the weirdness there. Then I'm gonna raid out. And we're going to see if there's anyone we're following. Maybe Sally's on. Maybe not quite. Up jump and a couple people. Anyone. Trying to decide who to rate is hard. Employment code stream. Real. Let's see. No one's Sully's friends. Awesome, thank you, Nana. That's very helpful. That's space. Girl BT. Yes. That's who we'll go into then. Thank you much. And you guys can stick around to say hi to them. And we will see you guys tomorrow for Thursday is when I do... I've forgotten, but we'll find out. It's, golly, I forgot. I'm just gonna have to check, aren't I? Hang on. There's a Dwarf Fortress. How could I forget? I love that. So Dwarf Fortress is tomorrow. So that's what it'll be. Bye.